He didn't see it at first. He told himself it was just attraction, just chemistry, just another story he could walk away from. But something kept pulling him back. Your eyes, your energy, the way his soul trembles every time he thinks of you. And then it happens. The silence no longer feels safe. The distractions no longer work. Because deep inside, he knows you are not just anyone. You are his mirror. You are his fire. You are his twin flame. The question is no longer if he knows. The question is what happens when he finally admits it to himself. For the divine masculine, resistance has been his shield. From the very beginning of this journey, he convinced himself that what he felt for you could be explained away. Chemistry, coincidence, obsession, even illusion. He told himself the connection was too much, too strange, too intense to be real. And so he ran. He buried himself in work, distractions, shallow connections, anything that would silence the pull he felt in his chest. But resistance is heavy. It weighs on the soul like chains, and every time he denied what he felt, another chain wrapped tighter. He thought he was keeping himself safe, but in truth, he was imprisoning himself. And there comes a moment in every twin flame journey when those chains start to crack. That moment is not loud. It does not always come with fireworks or grand gestures. Sometimes it comes in silence. He notices that no matter how far he runs, the thought of you still lingers. He wakes in the middle of the night with your face vivid in his mind. He hears a song, sees a sign, feels a surge of emotion, and realizes that he cannot outrun this. The illusion of control begins to crumble. At first, he tries to push harder. He doubles down on distractions, convinces himself again that he can bury the truth. But the more he resists, the louder the pull becomes. His chest feels heavier. His thoughts drift back to you. His body responds in ways he can't explain. The soul is breaking through the armor of his ego. This is the moment when he starts to sense the difference between you and anyone else. Other connections fade with time, but this one only grows stronger. Other people come and go, but your presence never leaves. He begins to realize that no matter how hard he tries, he cannot erase you. And that realization terrifies him because it means admitting that you are not just another chapter in his story. You are the story itself. For the feminine, this moment can be felt long before it is seen. She senses the shift in his silence, feels the pressure in the energy, notices the subtle signs that something has changed. He may still say nothing, but the field is alive with his breaking point. She feels his longing as if it were her own, because in many ways it is. This stage is sacred because it marks the end of denial and the beginning of recognition. The masculine may not fully admit it yet, but deep inside, he knows. The resistance is cracking, and through the cracks, truth begins to pour in. The moment resistance begins to break is the moment the reunion truly begins. Because once his soul tastes freedom, once he realizes that denying you only makes the ache stronger, he cannot go back. He cannot unfeel the bond. He cannot forget what his heart already knows. This is the beginning of his awakening, not loud, not dramatic, but undeniable. And it is in this quiet breaking that the truth finally takes root. You are not just anyone. You are his mirror. You are his flame. The masculine may not confess it out loud, may not write the words, may not step forward right away. But once resistance begins to crack, his energy starts to reveal the truth he can no longer bury. He knows you are not like anyone else, and it shows, not in grand gestures, but in subtle signs, the kind of shifts that speak louder than words. The first sign is in his eyes. Even if he tries to avoid your gaze, when his eyes meet yours, something happens. There's a flicker, a softness, a vulnerability he can't hide. For a moment, the walls fall and you see his soul. It terrifies him because he knows you see straight through him, and yet it also calms him because being seen by you feels like home. The second sign is in his silence. Before, it was empty, a wall meant to keep you away. Now it feels heavy, charged, trembling with unspoken words. The feminine feels the difference instantly. His silence no longer vibrates with rejection. It vibrates with longing. It is not absence, it is pressure. It is everything he wants to say but doesn't yet know how. The third sign is in his energy leaks. He cannot keep his feelings contained anymore. You sense him pressing into your field, his presence hovering near you even when he's not physically there. He shows up in your dreams, your emotions, your thoughts, and you feel the intensity of him more than ever. These are not fantasies. They are his truth seeping through the cracks in his resistance. The fourth sign is in his body. He becomes restless, fidgeting, unable to relax. His chest feels heavy. His heart races when he thinks of you. His sleep is disrupted. His body betrays him, proving what he tries to deny. He may not tell you he misses you, but the exhaustion on his face, the nervous energy in his movements, all reveal the inner storm. The fifth sign is in synchronicities. He starts to notice the universe playing tricks on him, your name, your birthday, repeating numbers, songs that feel like messages. At first, he brushes them off, but the more they appear, the more undeniable they become. Deep inside, he knows these are not coincidences. They are reminders of the truth he is running from. The sixth sign is in how he compares you to others. No matter who he meets, no one feels the same. No one carries the spark you do. No one challenges him, comforts him, or mirrors him the way you do. He may not say it out loud, but the realization grows. There is no substitute for you, and the seventh sign is in the way he softens. His anger, his defenses, his pride, they begin to crumble in your presence, even if just for moments. He feels safe with you in a way he doesn't with anyone else. And though his ego may still try to hold on, his soul relaxes when you're near. That softness is recognition. It's his soul whispering, "She is the one. She is my mirror. She is my twin flame." For the feminine, these subtle signs are not always visible in the physical. Sometimes they are felt more in energy than seen in action, but they are real. They are the proof that the truth is breaking through, that the masculine knows deep down who you are to him. And once that knowing takes root, it only grows. He may still resist, but he can never unknow what his soul has revealed. The subtle signs are not subtle at all, not to the heart. They are the whispers of recognition, the quiet confirmations of destiny, and they mark the beginning of the masculine's awakening to the truth. You are his twin flame, how his body and emotions betray the truth. The divine masculine has spent so long trying to control this journey with his mind. He told himself he could outthink the connection. That logic would save him from the weight of feeling. But the body does not lie, and the emotions do not stay buried forever. When the truth of who you are rises in him, it shows up in places he cannot hide. His flesh, his breath, his heart, his tears. One of the first betrayals is restlessness. His body no longer sits still when he tries to ignore you. He tosses in bed, shifts in his chair, paces rooms without knowing why. His nervous system hums with electricity, as if charged by something cannot control. This is not random anxiety. This is the energy of recognition moving through him. His body is trying to process the undeniable truth that you are part of him. The second betrayal is in his heart. Palpitations, chest pressure, heat radiating through his ribs. These become his constant reminders. When he thinks of you, his pulse quickens. When he denies you, his chest tightens. It is as if his body is keeping score, refusing to let him lie. Every heartbeat becomes a confession. She is the one. The third betrayal shows in his emotions. For years, he held them back, locked them behind walls. But now they leak. Tears come without reason. Waves of longing crash at random. Anger at himself for running burns in his chest. He feels grief for the time wasted, shame for the silence he kept, and love so overwhelming it frightens him. He can no longer pretend these feelings don't exist, because they arrive uninvited and unstoppable. The fourth betrayal is in his desire. His body craves you, not just physically, but spiritually. He feels the ache for intimacy that goes deeper than flesh, a pull to merge energy, to feel whole in your presence. He doesn't fully understand it, but he knows it is not lust, it is recognition. His soul remembers you, and his body mirrors that memory. The fifth betrayal is in dreams spilling into waking life. He wakes in tears after seeing you in dream space. He smiles without cause, remembering your presence. He carries the emotions of those dreams throughout his day, unable to shake them. His body reacts as though the dreams were real, because in truth they are. They are encounters of the soul, and his emotions know it. For the masculine, these betrayals are terrifying. He feels out of control. He wonders if he's going crazy, why he suddenly feels so much, why his body won't obey him. But these betrayals are not weakness. They are truth breaking through. They are his spirit refusing to let him live in denial. For the feminine, this stage can be deeply validating. She feels his emotions echoing in her own body. She wakes from dreams knowing they were shared. She feels the pull of his heart even in silence. And though he may not speak yet, she knows, because she feels the same tremors, the same betrayals, the same truth rising. The greatest betrayal of all is this. Once his body and emotions reveal the truth, he can never go back. He cannot unfeel the heartbeat that races for you. He cannot erase the tears that fell in your name. He cannot undo the way his soul moves through his flesh when it recognizes its mirror. His mind may hesitate, his ego may resist, but his body and emotions have already confessed. And their confession is simple. You are his twin flame. When the masculine begins to awaken to the truth of who you are, the soul uses every tool available to break through his resistance. And two of the most undeniable tools are dreams and synchronicities. They are the language of the universe, the ways spirit bypasses the mind and delivers truth straight to the heart. In dreams, his defenses collapse. The walls he holds up in waking life dissolve the moment his eyes close. And it is there, in the quiet of night, that the truth pours in. He dreams of you with clarity that feels more real than reality itself. He sees your face, hears your voice, feels your presence. Sometimes it is tender, the warmth of your embrace, the fuss of being home. Sometimes it is raw, arguments, confessions, tears that were never spoken in waking life. Every dream is a revelation, a message from his soul reminding him, she is the one. You cannot deny her often. These dreams carry symbols. Doorways opening, bridges crossing, flames merging into one. Even if he doesn't consciously understand the meaning, he feels the impact. He wakes with the ache of missing you, the weight of longing, the undeniable knowing that these are not random. They are encounters of the soul, meetings beyond the physical, proof that the connection lives even when he tries to bury it. But the universe doesn't stop at night. In the daylight, synchronicities become impossible to ignore. He sees your name everywhere, on signs, in songs, in passing conversations. Numbers repeat around him: 1111, 222, 717, patterns that seem to stalk him until he finally pays attention. A song comes on the radio with lyrics that speak directly to his heart, leaving him shaken. He thinks of you, and within minutes, something appears to confirm that thought. At first, he dismisses these signs. He calls them coincidences. But as they multiply, his excuses crumble. The sheer precision of the timing, the way every sign points back to you, becomes too much to rationalize. Deep inside, he begins to realize that the universe is not mocking him, it is guiding him. Every synchronicity is a breadcrumb leading him back to truth. And here is the most powerful part. The feminine feels it too. She dreams of him the same nights he dreams of her. She wakes with the same emotions, the same longing. She sees the same signs, the same numbers, the same reminders. This shared experience is no accident. It is the twin flame bond confirming itself through mirrored synchronicities. For the masculine, this stage is deeply unsettling. It strips him of the illusion of control. No matter how hard he tries to look away, the signs keep appearing. No matter how hard he tries to move on, the dreams bring him back. The universe will not let him forget, because forgetting is impossible when two souls are written into the same story. Dreams and synchronicities are not background noise. They are the universe speaking in the only language that cannot be silenced. They are the bridge between denial and recognition. They are the mirrors reflecting back the truth he already knows. You are his twin flame. And once he starts to notice them, really notice them, something shifts forever. Because the moment he admits to himself, this is not coincidence, he also admits she is the one. For the masculine, recognition does not arrive gently. It rarely comes as a calm realization he can ease into. No, it comes as a breaking point, a trigger so undeniable that his soul leaves him no more room to hide. These triggers are sacred disruptions, cracks in the illusions he built, moments that force him to admit what he's tried so hard to bury. You are his twin flame. The first trigger often comes through loss. When he feels the possibility of losing you, whether through distance, silence, or the risk of you moving on, something shatters inside him. He realizes that the pain of life without you is greater than the fear of surrender. That absence burns deeper than any excuse his ego can offer. The thought of you gone wakes him like nothing else, because his soul knows it was never meant to live without its mirror. The second trigger is mirror pain. He sees you hurt, suffering, or pulling back because of his resistance, and it wrecks him. Your tears become his ache. Your silence becomes his torment. In trying to protect himself, he ends up hurting the one he loves most, and that realization pierces through his pride. He cannot escape the truth that your pain is also his. The third trigger is synchronicity overload. Signs bombard him until denial is no longer an option. Your name shows up in impossible places. Numbers repeat endlessly. Dreams intensify. Songs follow him. He may laugh it off at first, but eventually the sheer volume breaks him. He is forced to admit that the universe is screaming truth at him, and that truth is you. The fourth trigger is his own breakdown. The distractions that once numbed him stop working. Work no longer satisfies. Other relationships feel hollow. He finds himself restless, exhausted, frustrated with everything he thought would keep him safe. His world collapses under the weight of its own emptiness, and in that collapse, he recognizes the only thing that feels alive, magnetic, undeniable, the bond with you. The fifth trigger comes from the feminine's strength. When you stop chasing, When you rise in your own alignment, he feels it. Suddenly, the energy he relied on is no longer pouring into him, and the absence is deafening. This shift forces him to see what he has taken for granted, and the truth hits. No one else carries the energy you do. No one else is home. Sometimes, recognition is triggered by unexpected tenderness. A memory of your laugh, a sudden wave of longing, a dream so vivid it feels real. These small moments unravel him, reminding him that what he feels is not ordinary, not replaceable, not something he can simply walk away from. For the masculine, these triggers are both terrifying and liberating. They strip away the illusion of control and force him to confront the truth. And though he may tremble, resist, or hesitate, recognition has already happened. He cannot unsee it. He cannot unfeel it. For the feminine, it's important to understand that these triggers are not setbacks. They are breakthroughs. They are the very moments his soul designed to awaken him. Every crack in his armor is a step closer to union. Recognition is not a choice. It is a collision between soul and ego, between truth and illusion, between love and fear. And once it happens, nothing is ever the same. Because now the masculine doesn't just feel the bond, he knows it. And knowing changes everything. What the feminine must understand in this stage, when the masculine begins to recognize who you truly are to him, the feminine is pulled into her own sacred test. Because while he wrestles with awakening, doubt, and the collapse of his illusions, you are asked to hold steady, to embody the truth without falling back into fear. This is the moment when your role as the anchor of the union becomes undeniable. The first thing the feminine must understand is that his recognition rarely looks like action right away. He may know, deep in his bones, that you are his twin flame, but that doesn't mean he can immediately step forward. Years of conditioning, fear, and ego defenses don't dissolve overnight. His soul awakens first. His body and mind take time to catch up. If you demand proof too soon, you risk collapsing the fragile space where his surrender is still forming. The second truth is that your energy shapes his courage. Every thought you choose, every emotion you embody, every vibration you hold creates ripples in the field between you. When you spiral into doubt, he feels that instability. When you rest in trust, he feels safe to let go. He may not consciously understand why, but his soul responds. Your steadiness is not passive. It actively builds the container for him to fully awaken. The third lesson is that you must not chase recognition outside of yourself. It is tempting to crave his words, to want to hear him finally say it. You are my twin flame. But true recognition begins in spirit, not in speech. If you tie your worth to his confession, you give your power away. Instead, your task is to embody the knowing already alive in your soul. You don't need him to validate it, because you already feel it. The fourth reminder is that his fear is not rejection. When he hesitates, pulls back, or hides, it is not because he doesn't feel it. It is because he feels it too much. The intensity terrifies him. The depth of his love for you dismantles the version of himself he thought was safe. His pauses are not proof that he doesn't see you. They are proof that he does, and he is trembling under the weight of it. The fifth teaching is that this is where your mission becomes vital. When you step into your purpose, your passion, your alignment, you radiate the frequency that magnetizes him back. He sees you shining in your sovereignty, and his soul remembers, this is why we are here. The union was never meant to be just romance. It was meant to be a foundation for mission. And when you embody that, you call him into his. And finally, the feminine must hold this truth above all. Recognition is irreversible. Once he knows, he cannot unknow. He may stall, he may hesitate, but the awakening cannot be undone. His soul has already seen, already felt, already confessed what his mouth cannot yet say. The truth is alive, and it is only a matter of time before the physical reflects it. This stage asks for your deepest trust, not blind waiting, not desperate longing, but grounded alignment. You are not powerless here. You are the mirror, the anchor, the steady flame. And the way you hold yourself in this stage becomes the very energy that allows him to step forward. So do not collapse into fear. Do not demand timelines. Do not mistake hesitation for denial. Hold your truth. Live your mission. Breathe into the knowing already alive inside you, because his recognition is already here. And once the masculine knows, nothing can stop what comes next. There is a sacred turning point on every twin flame journey. For so long, the masculine resists, hides, distracts himself, and denies the truth written in his soul. But then something shifts. He reaches the edge of himself, his heart cracks open, and in that moment, recognition takes root. She is the one. She is my mirror. She is my twin flame. This recognition is not casual. It is not something he can dismiss or file away. It is cosmic, eternal, undeniable. Once his soul remembers you, nothing can erase that truth. He may hesitate, he may stumble, he may still wrestle with fear, but deep inside, he knows. And once he knows, the union becomes inevitable. From this moment on, every part of his life begins to change. The people, places, and distractions that once numbed him no longer feel alive. The old masks no longer fit. The old escapes no longer soothe. His soul will not let him rest until he aligns with what it already knows. The path forward may take time, but there is no other path. Every road leads back to you. For the feminine, this is where trust becomes everything. Because the recognition may not look like fireworks in the physical, not right away. It may look like silence that feels charged, emotions spilling through the bond, dreams that make your heart ache with confirmation. But make no mistake, the energy has shifted forever. His knowing is alive, and the universe will keep pressing until the physical reflects it. Union was never about convincing him. It was never about proving yourself or waiting endlessly. It was always about alignment, his soul with yours, his truth with yours, his destiny with yours. Recognition is the moment the puzzle locks into place. The reunion in spirit has already happened, and the physical is simply catching up. The final message is this: do not fear delays. Do not collapse into doubt. Do not let fear trick you into thinking nothing has changed. Everything has changed. Because once the masculine knows, he cannot unknow. And that knowing will pull him toward you no matter how hard he fights it. You are not waiting for him to choose you. His soul already has. You are not hoping for him to wake up. He already has. You are simply holding steady while his body, his mind, and his actions align with the truth his heart already confessed. Union is not a question of if. It never was. It is only a question of when. And when the masculine finally realizes who you are, the when has already begun. So breathe, trust, live in the knowing, because the end of his denial is the beginning of your reunion, and nothing, no fear, no delay, no illusion, can stop what the soul has already chosen. When the masculine knows, union is inevitable.